Hi. Hello. What's up? Welcome everyone to the Dialogue Dome. How's it going? My name is Brendan. That's Max over there. And today we're
Yo, what's
talking
good?
about a really light topic, something that everybody
Light?
loves to think about all
Oh
the
yeah.
time. Oh yeah. Yeah. Our biggest fears. Okay.
All right. Fucking what was this? What was going
I
on
don't
here? What was
fucking
that?
know. I wanted to just do a smile. I wanted to look cute. I don't know. Did it
That's fair.
work?
Well,
Probably
you're
not.
adorable. All right, you're adorable.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, honey.
Okay. So
You too,
fear,
bitch.
fear. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah,
um,
thanks.
yeah. So
Anyway,
fears,
so fear,
fears. The things that
fear.
we're scared of. Yeah, fears.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really know where we're gonna go with this episode. We're just gonna kind of
Sure.
talk. But then again, we never really know where we're going with any of
I
these
mean, we
episodes.
we
We
do
just
that
kind of
anyway. Like,
talk.
is this any different than what we normally do? I don't think it's any different than what we
No,
normally do.
I don't think so either. No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Um, we're gonna dive right into it. What's your biggest fear,
Right up.
Max?
My biggest fear, straight the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's a fucking tough one.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot of
have
different phobias over
there
like
yeah, there's a lot
humanity,
of
but
different fears. Some of them rational, some of them irrational. A lot of them like psychological in nature versus like physical manifestations of what fear could be. It's that one's a fucking tough one. I guess to start straight the fuck off, how about one of my more irrational fears?
sure, we can do
I
irrational fears.
I despise the ocean with a
Interesting, because
burning white hot passion.
let's talk about what you're scared of about the ocean. Let's not dive
Sure.
into too much because I do want to do a episode
Dive in.
just
Yeah.
about the ocean. Yes, I did that on
Mhm.
purpose, clearly. I want to do
Uh-huh.
an episode specifically about the ocean
Sure,
because
sure, absolutely.
I'm watching this really cool National Geographic documentary called
Oh,
Ocean
yeah?
Explorers, and it's really good. They go underwater and
Ooh.
discover all this cool stuff. But um
Ew.
but what do you call it? What makes you so scared of the ocean?
Uh, there's a lot of media that has presented the ocean as this big, vast, unknowing, unthinking, uncaring being that houses animals and apex predators that would fucking instantaneously take me out without a second thought, without a worry or a whim. And if it wasn't the animals inside of the ocean, it's the goddamn water itself that's trying to fucking kill me. And if it's not the water, it's the sun, it's the salt, it's the fish, it's the birds, it's there's so much about the ocean that I'm sure everyone loves. That's really fun and enjoyable, especially in a controlled environment. But like fucking drowning, shark attacks, box jellyfish, water snakes, eels, manta rays, fucking
Not a fan of Little Mermaid?
poisonous fish.
Not a fan of the Little Mermaid, are you?
Fucking I don't know.
Yeah. Which is our, this is all ironic because we're going on a trip to
Mhm.
Hawaii,
I know it's
in a
gonna be
year.
great.
I know.
And I'm
I
just
can't
gonna have
wait.
to sit there and like either be in the water or not.
You'll be in the water. I'll get you in the water. Me, and a bunch
Hmm.
of my friends will get you in the water, and you'll feel
Yeah.
safe because you're with us.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright.
Um, much. Oh my god, too much. What's the actual? Hold on. So I have a list of things here.
Sure.
What
I
is?
don't have a list. I'm ill prepared, as
It's okay.
always.
I'm looking. What I love to do is say the absolutely ridiculous, stupid names of whatever the phobia is because they're
Sure.
just so funny.
They are so
They're
funny.
so funny to pronounce too.
Mhm.
Um, Fear of the ocean is called Thalassophobia. Okay. The
Okay.
word comes from the
Never
Greek words
heard about it.
phobos, which is fear, and thalassa,
Fear.
which is sea. All of it's Greek,
Interesting.
by the way. All the phobias are
Oh,
Greek.
of course it is. Of course it is. Well, why wouldn't it be?
Yes. The persistent fear of persistent and intense fear of deep bodies of water, such as the ocean, seas, and lakes. Though related, thalassophobia should not be confused with aquaphobia, which is the fear of water itself.
Exactly. No, I love water. Water's great. I love
Yeah.
taking showers. Drinking water is
Yeah, dive into a
fantastic.
pool, I got you.
Yeah, dive into a pool, fantastic stuff. It's a nice controlled environment. I mean, like even
Filled with
the
chlorine and things
lake.
that can make you sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even the lake that's close by. I like to go swimming in the lake. It's fine. I just
So the lake
like to
you're
be able
okay
to see
with,
the
but the
bottom.
ocean you're not.
Well, it depends on how deep the lake is, because the lake that I'm thinking of isn't actually that deep.
Oh, okay.
I can
Because they're
see the bottom.
like
I
Lake
might not be able to
Michigan.
touch the bottom, but I can see it. Oh yeah, Lake Michigan? Fuck that.
Okay. See,
Fuck
I
that
would
right
love to dive
off.
in Lake Michigan. Um.
Fuck that.
Okay. So you have thalassophobia. Got it. Okay. I already know what it is, but I had to look up how to
Yeah.
pronounce it. It's thanatophobia, which is the fear of
Okay.
death.
That's
That's
fair.
my biggest fear, is the fear of death.
I think there's a lot of people that have that one. There's a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings, misinterpretations of that one.
See,
It's very reasonable to have that. I think
yeah,
that's mostly why I have the fear of the oceans. I don't want to die. I don't think anybody wants to die.
right. I would say for me, I have like kind of an explanation for it too. Like
Sure.
um, it's kind of like it ties into my fear of the unknown, which is another one of my um biggest fears is fears of the unknown. Now when I say like I have a fear of death, I don't go around like anxious at every turn,
Sure.
every step that I'm gonna die. Like that, no. Like
Right.
I don't live in fear. It's
Sure.
just that the fear of death more attaches for me toward the fear of the unknown because
Fair.
we are, as a species, so very much aware of our surroundings and we are very much aware that we are alive, right?
Hmm.
So for me, it's a question of like, what the hell comes after death? Because obviously I've come to terms with the fact that I am going to die. The
Oh yeah.
idea of death itself does not scare me. It's the
Right.
idea of what comes after death, because
Hmm.
here's what I hate to say about this. If it's the feeling of when you're asleep for the rest of existence, I don't really want that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I have this unfortunate imagination that's really, really run wild.
Hmm.
And the imagination or the idea that I've come up with is that your consciousness is fully awake, completely able to feel everything, but you have no body, you can't move, and it's just an infinite void of blackness for the rest of eternity. Like, that
Hmm.
is absolutely awful. And I really hope that that's not what death is. um, but at the same time, like, I understand that, like, I am going to die. Everyone dies. Every species on
Sure.
this planet deals with death. And,
Exactly.
it's just part of the circle of life. But for me, it ties into my fear of the unknown and what comes next, right? That kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
can understand that. Um, I mean, most of the fears that I have are tied to death in some way. Fear of the ocean, fear of spelunking, fear of
What's,
spiders,
hold on, hold
fear
on,
of like
hold
what?
on. What's spelunking again? Sorry, I'm blanking on that
Spelunk.
word.
Oh, cave diving, cave
Oh,
exploring.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Underwater
And
cave
you know
exploring.
why? Like you've seen those videos out there. Like some of those guys, it's really cool and it's interesting, but then they're like going through like seeing these really tight spaces and it's dark and it's like hard to see or God, this one video that I saw, a group of friends were out somewhere, Brazil, don't know, don't care, and uh um they were like hiking through this cave, and it's pitch black except for like their phones and their phone lights and stuff, and they're squeezing through some like intense spaces, really small areas that are like stuff that you'd think only a child could fit through. And then they come to this one particular section, and out of the fucking darkness, a 5-year-old just kind of walks out at them. And it was horrifying.
Weird.
Because if they didn't fucking go into that cave, that child, gone, done. Not
Dead,
even,
yeah.
like, yeah, not even a question what would happen to
Wow,
that
that's
kid.
horrible.
The
Who
kid
left
didn't
that
have
kid
a light.
unsupervised?
I know. That's awful. It
Watch
freaks
your
me
kids,
out.
people.
Agreed.
Jesus.
Oh my god, agreed. But like, no, the kid didn't have a light on them. They didn't have any sort of communication device or anything around them. There were no, they literally just had like a popsicle or something in one hand, and they were just like wandering around in the pitch black.
That's so easy. That's so easy to get turned around. That's crazy.
Exactly. Easy to get turned around, easy to fall and get hurt, falling rocks, like, mm, mm, no thank you. So a lot of my life is definitely spent trying to avoid those situations. I wouldn't exactly call myself a thrill seeker. I don't
Neither do I.
necessarily care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't necessarily care for thrills. Some thrills are interesting, especially the really nice safe ones, but
what you're saying is that
mm-mm.
we need to take all the cave exploring off of the itinerary. Got it.
Yes. None of it.
Well, unless we can see the
Fucking none of
exit.
it.
If we could see the
Oh yeah,
exit, we'd be fine.
there has to be a rope, and it has to be well lit, and even then I might still have a little bit of a
See, it's interesting you say that because I don't really have a fear of caves or of being underwater.
Sure.
But there's this
I
movie
think
that
same to
hold
a
on.
point.
There's this
Sure,
movie that I you're sabotaging the episode, Max, again. No, I'm kidding. The movie that I'm thinking of it's a movie that was produced by James Cameron, and it's a movie that didn't really do super well at the box office, but I just remember it being such a incredible film. It's a movie called Sanctum. Have you ever heard of it?
Sanctum.
Probably not.
No,
Okay.
Sanctum Sanctorum, but that's
No,
a
Sanctum
Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah, Sanctum is a movie that was produced by James Cameron, and essentially it is about this group of people who are deep sea diving and basically underwater cave explorers, and they go in to the underwater cave and
Mm-hmm.
they find this like inner like cave chamber that has like, you know, no water in it. They come up out of it, they start exploring it, and then a small earthquake happens and they get trapped by a rock slide or a landslide, and they have to find a second way out of that cave. And the entire movie is about them diving underwater through these like these chambers and through these caves underwater with the stalactites and stalagmites and all that, but they haven't mapped it. They don't know where they're going, and on top of that, their light could go out at any moment because they're on battery. And like that's the kind of shit that like I don't have a fear of the dark, I don't have a fear of caves, and I don't have a fear of underwater, but all three of those combined just would make me so uncomfortable. It's not even funny.
Absolutely.
Like like I think in fact I'll be honest with you, when you see documentaries of like underwater caves, it's fucking beautiful how amazing they are.
Absolutely.
from the comfort of the couch on my house.
Yeah.
I'm not recording that shit. Fuck that.
Oh yeah. No.
What happens
Not
if your
happening.
safety line snaps? You can't go back. Anyway, so yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned that because that was the first thing I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, exactly. It's just it. I think it really does all to a certain extent tie into death in some fashion or another. Any of the phobias out there, rational or irrational, it's some sort of like safety mechanism. You're scared of it because your mind and your body is trying to keep you safe.
mhm.
Is definitely the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Well, the reason why your anxiety goes up is because your senses get heightened because your body
Mm-hmm.
thinks that it needs to do that in order to make you more alert.
Right.
That's why anxiety sucks, is because
Yeah.
some kind of PTSD trauma that your brain went through, probably when you were a kid and don't even remember it, suddenly survival instincts kick in for no fucking reason, and you go, why am I anxious? There's nothing happening. It's because of the PTSD that your body is experiencing. So that's why anxiety happens. It sucks because 99% of the time anxiety comes up, you're not in a situation where you would need to be survival. So it's annoying.
Yep. It's where my fear of needles comes from. Fucking true
That's another
story.
one.
I know, right?
That's another one. Yeah.
True fucking story. I had a tooth growing out from the top of my mouth, the center palate, like not where teeth normally are supposed to be. The middle section.
Trypanophobia.
Trypanophobia?
Fear of needles.
Fear of needles? That makes sense. There you
Trypanophobia.
go.
Common
I had
anxiety.
this tooth.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You
No,
tell the
you're
story.
good. No, I had this tooth growing in like right fucking back there. Wow.
Oh, you had one of those
Right?
gum teeth.
Yeah, right fucking back there, man.
So it's one of that is actually, I forget the scientific name of that tooth, but that is a rare condition that is genetic to a very specific family tree that you come from like way back, like 10,000 years we're talking about here.
Really?
And
I'll have to look that up.
it's such a
It would
weird
be
thing.
nice to know that I'm special.
Yeah, it's this tooth that it basically is a tooth that grows in the middle of your mouth on the upper part that for some reason is just a genetic deform from that line of family tree. It's so weird.
So interesting. That's so interesting. And fascinating that I had it. Anyway, so my mom takes me into the dentist, right? Because nobody needs to be having a tooth growing in from the center of their fucking skull on the top of their mouth. That's not good and it's not healthy. And the dentist, in his infinite wisdom, decided that the best course of action was, instead of taking the needle and hitting the Novocaine all around the tooth like a normal fucking person, he decided to be a crazy son of a bitch, and he went in behind, like just behind my two front teeth, and pushed up. I think hoping to curve the needle over and back. But
Ow,
it
that must have been
certainly didn't.
painful.
Oh, it was incredibly painful. It really did feel like he was trying to puncture into my nose and then into my eye. Like I bet if he kept pushing like he really was trying, that he probably could have done it. That's probably what would have happened. And it was awful. It was very traumatizing. And to this day, I still have a like doctor's needles fucking not good. It's not good. Fucking hate it.
Yeah. I don't really have a fear of needles, really. I don't know. I mean, I just got my COVID shot. I don't really have a fear of needles. But
yeah.
That's so interesting. I one of the things that I have, it's a common one. It's I have a fear of heights, but not like it's weird. It's a very specific type of height. And what I mean by that is like like if I'm standing on the top of a mountain overlooking this huge landscape, right? I don't have a fear of
Sure.
heights. Why? Because I'm on the ground. I know I'm on the
Sure.
ground. I know I'm safe. I'll give you an example of when I'm scared of heights. I
Mm-hmm.
went up to the top of the Empire State Building last, I would say, maybe like 10 years ago. That was the last time I was on the top of a skyscraper.
Okay.
And I was fine when I was looking over the side, while I was like on the lookout point, like with like a
Yeah.
wall and like cement behind me and like everything. I was on the building.
Sure.
I knew I was fine. So like I was looking
Right.
out and I was fine. But there was a room, and I didn't realize this until I went into it. There was a room where you could go into a glass floor and look down on the rest of the city. And I am not kidding you. I stepped into that room, I took one look down, and I fucking fainted. Because I didn't
Yeah.
realize I had a fear of extreme heights when I didn't feel secure on the ground. I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just remember to this day that every time I go up into a skyscraper now, or I go to some lookout point of some place that I know is going to be like
Sure.
really like high up, I make sure that I'm it like the lookout point is not. I asked the person, I said, is there a glass floor or is it just a regular floor? Because they actually know that that's common to have a glass floor.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Another one where I
No,
felt
I
loopy and
agree with
weird.
that. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna just say one more thing. Like
go for it.
another one where I felt loopy and weird, but not too bad, was when I was on top of the Hoover Dam, because you have
Mm.
the opportunity to go up on the road that is like on top of it, and you get to like kind of like peer off the edge and look down at like the big drop before the river.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I felt kind of loopy there, but I knew I was fine because I was holding on to something, so like I'm fine
Sure.
there.
Sure. Sure.
But that's another example of like an extreme height
Mm.
that felt weird to me. It was still breathtaking. It was incredible to be up there.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely. Um, can I just real quick fucking say to the person who invented the glass floor for any of these like really tall high things, the fuck you thinking? Who said that that was a good idea? You never once thought to yourself that just because we could
Doesn't mean we should.
didn't mean that we should. That we can. You like fuck you, guy. I don't know who you are, but go fuck yourself.
I know, right? Like who that person did not stop to think of what
Nah,
other people would feel.
absolutely not. And I
Like
mean, like there are definitely thrill seekers out there that are like, oh yeah, no, the glass floor thing was a great addition. My experience at the Grand Canyon has been made infinitely better because of this glass walkway out over into the canyon. Like that's just it's so chef's kiss. Go fuck yourself, all right? Okay? I unsubscribe from the channel right fucking now. I hate you so much.
it's crazy. It really is. It's crazy to think that that's a thing.
I
Oh
know.
man.
Absolutely crazy. Um other phobias that I've
Do
got.
you have a do you have a fear of holes?
What, like
And
trypophobia?
yes, exactly. Yes. I
Yeah,
was gonna say I mean that in the least sexual way possible.
sure. Not really, actually. Some of them are kind of interesting for sure. Like I get a little wobbly about like bot flies and shit, but it's more about the fact that there's something living inside of the hole than the hole itself. Like the hole has been made and I'm less worried about what isn't in the hole. I'm more worried about what's inside the hole.
Nice. Sorry, we're trying to make this not sexual, but it's very difficult to. Yeah, that's one. Okay, that's one of the fears I don't really understand. Is that one?
Mhm.
Trypophobia. I know a lot of people have it, and I don't really
Sure.
know what the reasoning is behind it necessarily. I
Right,
feel like
right,
it's
right.
different for each individual. right?
Oh, absolutely. Most of these phobias here, like you'll have your experiences, your trauma, your whatever that will probably cause the anxiety or whatever to happen. So we totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Not having it myself, I don't necessarily know how to describe it.
You
Here's a question: Is
you go ahead.
misophonia like a misophonia? Is don't know if that's a phobia specifically, but it makes me think of that.
That's the fear of germs, misophobia.
Misophonia? I
Misophobia is
don't know.
also misophobia is also called germophobia.
Which one's the one where you hate ASMR?
Oh, that's not the same thing.
Which one's
Uh,
that one then?
I'm looking that up right now. Fear of ASMR is misophobia in a different spelling.
Ah,
So you were right. The misophobia I was thinking of, the germophobia, is spelled with a
yeah.
Y, and this one's spelled with an I.
Ah, no
So
wonder it got
it's
confusing.
it's actually not specifically the fear of ASMR. It's the fear of very very quiet noises heightened to a level that is normalized.
Oh, that makes sense, I
Mm.
guess.
So
I
like
don't necessarily have a fear of it.
think about that, like taking like a cricket noise and
Yeah.
escalating that up to an incredibly loud tone of voice, or a
Mm-hmm.
very loud tone right next to the microphone. That's the same idea.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be
Okay.
this person
Okay.
talking like this. It doesn't have to be like that.
Sure. Um, I know I fucking hate ASMR. I hate some ASMR. I should be very clear. I don't like cooking channels ASMR. The sounds it's not a fear, but it makes me feel disgusting.
I have one that
Is
you'll laugh
basically
at.
it. Yeah, hit me.
Globophobia. Do you know what that is?
No.
I have a fear of balloons. Interesting, huh? I have a huge fear of balloons.
You don't say.
What's with the face? You're trying not to laugh.
I don't want to make light of this very very real and rational
You can laugh if you want
very
to.
very real and rational fear that you have.
You can laugh at me. It's okay. You're my friend. Yeah, I have a fear of
Okay.
balloons.
What
Yeah.
what what happened? Did a birthday party clown fucking chase you around with a balloon sword or something? What happened?
No, when I was little, a balloon
Uh-huh.
popped right next to my ear, and I was traumatized
Uh
by that. Yeah. So,
that makes
yes.
sense.
No,
It's
a
the
clown did not
popping.
try to murder me. No, that's a fear of
Got it.
clowns, by the way, which I don't
True.
have.
I also don't have that. I know that's a very popular like horror movie topic, but
Yeah, like it didn't scare
um
me. I'm sorry, it just didn't.
it
It didn't scare me. I was like not at all like
it
even remotely
scared
scared.
me, but not because he was a clown. It was because he was a psychopath.
Yeah, I would say it scared me. It did scare me when he turned into when he like had like 17 rows of teeth. That's when it scared me.
Yeah,
You know,
that was pretty
yeah,
freaky.
that was when he transformed.
Which it are we talking about? Tim Curry
No, the new
or the
one.
new one?
The new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The new one fucked me up, all right? The Georgie's scene,
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot. That was a lot.
like holy fucking shit. When did we start being like so real in horror movies? That
No.
was so real. It was too fucking real.
Yeah, it was a little too close
I
to home. I thought that was a little bit too much, but
it and I don't know if you saw Doctor Sleep, but if you
no.
know what scene I'm talking about from Doctor Sleep,
Hmm.
holy fucking shit. It's too goddamn real. You need to pull back. Like it's awesome that you're trying to go for realism, but I don't need that kind of realism in my movies, all right? You need to fucking chill. That was a lot. Oh, in
Yeah.
the beginning of It Chapter 2 as well, that one also fucked me up, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, that was like, can I say, It
Mhm.
Chapter 2 was the only time I've ever really felt that a sequel did well to a horror
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
particularly. I mean, it's very interesting how, like, we have a lot of sequels to horror series, and a lot of them don't do well, because the surprise
Right.
factor's gone now. But
Right.
they found a new way to traumatize people in it too, which was crazy. You know,
Mhm.
it's interesting how a lot of horror sequels don't work well.
Oh, I know, right? It's I just
We're coming up to October, by the way,
man.
so we'll expect
Mhm.
some more Halloween topics soon. I'm excited. Yeah, speaking of Halloween, yeah, da-na-na-na-na-na.
Um,
Um, I'm just
no, it
looking at
is
some other
interesting and
things.
crazy. Anyway, segue.
I'm just looking into some of the other things.
Oh, you're good.
What other fears do you got?
Fucking
The
what
fear of
other fears?
bananas. Listen, I'm
It's
sorry.
too much potassium. I can't handle it.
I'm sorry if you have banana phobia.
Sorry.
That's the actual name of the
If
phobia. But seriously, it's
I know,
not to laugh at you, but
like we're definitely not trying. Like I want to be very clear that there are people out there that have these phobias, and it's very real and it's very traumatizing.
oh
Something
yeah,
happened to you when you were a child, when you were developing. Something happened, and it's just really messes with your sense of safety. And that is the thing that we're not trying to diminish or make you feel like you can't talk about it. um I think one of the easiest ways I've learned to deal with a lot of my fears and a lot of my phobias is to be able to make fun of it, to be able to realize how absolutely absurd it is to be afraid of needles and doctors in general. Like, I shouldn't have to have that fear. Brendan and his fear of balloons. um
thanks, bitch. It's very real. I'm not kidding you.
yeah,
Every single time, it's stupid because like when you think about it, it's just like what is it, silicone and air, really?
yeah,
But like
exactly.
it every single time I get into a room with balloons, I'm not kidding you. Like I find myself stepping away from the balloons. And it's
Sure.
really it's awful. Like I don't need
Sure.
to be afraid of the fact that the balloon will pop because it's not going to
Right.
pop. It's right there, literally just floating there doing its own thing.
Exactly.
But I
And
have
even if
such a
it does
trauma of
pop,
that.
like,
Even if it does pop, like the loud noise isn't anywhere close to what I remember when I was a kid. But
right.
I still
Exactly.
have it because my
Mhm.
body goes into like adrenaline mode whenever I see one. Oh, it's awful. It's
Mhm.
awful. You can make fun of it all you want, but I want you to put yourself in my shoes for once.
Oh, I fucking do. I've got plenty of fears and phobias myself that just don't make sense.
The
That
fear
that
of the ocean.
people It's a very legitimate thing, Brennan. Very legitimate.
Now you know how I feel.
I know. Um no, but like what are some of the other phobias that I have? Aliens. Aliens freak me the fuck out. Like, I like the idea of
See,
aliens.
that's
I like
so
the
odd to
idea
me.
of yeah.
Well, yeah, because I find that like what okay, when you think of aliens, what do you
Uh-huh.
we really need to do a podcast topic on aliens.
We really do.
When you talk about aliens, what you're thinking of? You talking of the
I
movie
think
Alien? Cuz that's
yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah. I'm thinking of at least a couple different movies specifically about aliens, and a lot of them tend to be very negative. Alien is a prime example. Some unfeeling, uncaring creature in the vastness of space who was built and bred by evolution to kill any and everything in its path or breed. Like, that's like its primary function is food and nourishment and breeding. That's it. That's all it's got. That's all it cares about. That's absolutely horrifying. Um,
If that exists, yeah. But
if it exists.
yeah.
Well, see, but that's the thing is that like that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
Well, what are humans?
Exactly. See,
um,
that's why it's out there.
yeah, we are a
Um,
cancer for this planet. But anyway,
for sure. Another movie that comes to my mind is Independence Day. Another vastly like it itself is a really good movie, but now you have a technologically superior species coming to our planet for some reason or another, probably resources, because why would an advanced species care about our little rock in the middle of wherever? And then in order to do whatever, like we don't even fully understand what they wanted from us. They just started fucking killing people. Terraforming, maybe. Collecting resources or like getting rid of the population just so that we weren't around or in their way.
interesting.
That's
Independence Day. Look,
horrifying.
Independence Day is a great film. I
Oh,
think one of my favorite
fantastic
scenes
movie.
is when they destroy the Empire State Building. That was so funny. Um, but
And I just like,
can I be honest with you
man.
though? It's
Hmm.
so unrealistic, any kind of alien film, because they always go to either New York or Los Angeles, and if their
Oh, I
objective
know.
is to kill people, they would go to China because China has the biggest population,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
They
For
would
sure.
not they would not come to New York City. They would not come to Chicago. They would not come
Nah.
to Los
Nah.
Angeles. They would be
Nah.
probably Beijing because that's where, or Tokyo because that's where the most centered population is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, like, I don't know, I don't have a huge fear of. See, my curiosity gets the best of me with aliens. I think that
Sure.
the reason why I'm not scared of them is because that's. That ties into my very particular fear of the unknown. It's so weird. I have a fear of the unknown, but with certain things, I don't. Like, for instance, with like space or with the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the ocean or like anything
Mm-hmm.
under the ocean. I don't have a fear of exploration. That's different.
Sure.
I have a
Yeah.
fear of the unknown, but not of exploring the unknown. That's not the same thing. The fear
Right.
of the unknown is like not knowing what comes after death. We don't have a way to
Right. Right.
explore
Right.
that. No one's around to tell us either. So it's
Right.
just
Exactly.
it's very difficult to describe my fear of the unknown, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at as far as those things go. And for anyone out there saying, "Oh, aliens aren't real or aliens can't exist,"
The
fucking
Earth's flat.
count how many
Sorry.
stars you see at night, and I swear to God, if you're one of those people that live in one of those light polluted areas, you know what the fuck I mean. Okay? You can count how many stars there are up in the sky right above you right fucking now, and you can say to yourself, let's pretend that that each one of those stars has one planet that is like Earth, and you're telling me we're the only ones in the entire cosmos that survived and developed? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. It's not
Yeah.
mathematically feasible. That's just math. We are not the only fucking
Yes.
people
Look
here.
at our colonizing the solar system episode for more. Um, you know what? Have you? Can we talk about our parents' fears real quick?
Sure.
Like,
I don't know too much about my parents' fears.
well,
Actually, I probably do.
one of them that I know my dad has is something called astrophobia. Do you know what that is?
Hmm. Astro?
Astrophobia.
Astrophobia? No.
Okay, that's the fear of extreme weather.
Okay.
It's very interesting. My dad,
Understandable.
right? But my dad lives in New England. He's lived in New England his whole life, and it's very interesting to me that he has a fear of weather because like, I'm not kidding you. Like, it'll be sunny out, and then it starts to
Mhm.
literally drizzle. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, the smallest amount of rain, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's raining! Can you believe it's raining? I can't believe it's raining. Wait, they didn't say this in the forecast. It's raining." I'm like, "Dad, it's just water. It's just water.
Hmm.
That's all rain
Hmm.
is." I think it ties into his remembrance of like blizzards, like the blizzard of 78. He lived through that, and
Oh
like all
yeah.
that stuff. And like I think that it ties into him having to shovel the snow and having to like repair. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, the basement in this house, at one point when it rained, it got really bad leakage, and I'm just thinking that he was really stressing out over the leaks in this house at one point in my life.
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure. Sure.
I think it ties into that stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just so interesting to me that in a person that has a fear of weather or unpredictable weather, he lives in New England. It's just so
Happens,
funny
I
to me,
suppose.
because like New England is the most unpredictable weather in the world,
Mm-hmm.
because
For sure.
we live right on the edge of a cold and a warm front. So things can just happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh no, that's definitely interesting. It's crazy thinking about something like that. But like extreme weather in those particular cases makes more sense to me. And I'm trying to think of like a fear that my parents have. I'm not entirely sure I know what my parents are afraid of.
Your parents afraid of mice?
My grandma's afraid of mice. Like
That's a
she'd see a mouse and
common
like
one.
and
Yeah.
she'd like go and grab my grandpa to fucking take care of it. She has like 4 cats to take care of the mice problem, and every now and again one of them slips by.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's weird. I don't have a fear of mice, but I have a fear of I don't have a fear of mice in general, but I get scared when they move so quickly. They move very fast.
Sure.
And I think
Yeah, they
it
do.
doesn't have
They
to do with the
have to.
fact. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it has to do with the fact that it's the mouse that's running
Hmm.
quickly. I think it's just the fact that something quick ran by and my brain had to take a second to process that it was a mouse
Sure.
until after it saw the
Sure, sure,
mouse.
sure, sure.
Um, but that's the
Yeah.
reason why they're so quick, right? Um, my mom definitely, absolutely 100% has a fear of failure. That's a big one for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, and definitely for different reasons, because it's not necessarily tied. Like that's one of those ones that's not tied in with death itself or things that could harm or kill you. This one's more social for sure.
Oh yeah.
If you fail at something socially, you're ostracized or cast away, cast out as lesser than because you couldn't do whatever the thing was that society needed you to do. Um, I can relate to that heavily. For the longest time, I hated myself and my Twitch channel and my art career because it just wasn't taking off. It wasn't going anywhere. Um, a
Yeah.
real big problem to have for sure.
Oh yeah. I think for her it comes with the fact that she has been a CEO for so long and she's had to
Sure.
overcome a lot of obstacles and struggles with her company, but she's become a very successful businesswoman. She's in fact one of
Mm-hmm.
the most successful in her field.
Sure.
And I think that it's incredibly admirable what she's accomplished, my mom, over the years, for sure. I mean, it's just, I think that's where her tie of fear of failure comes from, is that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she would know what to do if her business failed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that like in an alternate universe, her business didn't get picked up and was not successful, and like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if my mom would have been able to figure out what to do next after that. You know what I mean? So it's just a fear of failure, I think, attaches to that. But then at the same time, she's not doesn't really have a lot of things to fear because she's been incredibly successful as a
Sure.
person, as a businesswoman, as a mother. Like I could say
Sure.
so many different things about my mom that are she's an incredible woman, honestly. Really is,
Absolutely.
you know? And I don't mean that because she might be listening. Hi, Mom. How are you?
I
I mean that because I really genuinely feel that way about her. She's a very successful woman. She's one of my biggest role models to this day, and
mm,
all that stuff. So yeah,
sure. I can understand that. I can it's very admirable and also very understandable, especially in people with in those positions of power, um to want to hold on to that for as long as they possibly can. Uh yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know what else to say about it except
yeah,
good on you.
yeah,
Good fucking job.
yeah. Overcoming fears is a whole another topic, but like that's
Mhm.
something that is very difficult as well for a lot of people. Like a
Oh,
lot of people,
absolutely.
especially with the psychological ones, a lot of people can't
Mhm.
face their fears.
True.
Mostly because a lot of times the fear is either not real or hasn't happened yet. Like for
Mhm.
me, I can't face my fear of death because I don't want to die. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In order to figure that out.
Hard to reconcile that.
Yeah.
Hard to really grasp what it means.
Yeah. But it just gets me anxious when I think about it too. Like I'll dive
Sure.
into I'll start thinking about it and I'll dive into this hole of like what is it like to die? Like what do you feel? What happens to your mind? What happens to your consciousness? What happens to your body? I'll start getting really anxious about it. It's bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can understand that. For a lot of the other phobias out there, oftentimes the best course of medicine is exposure therapy. I am currently going through a process that requires me to have blood draws on a regular or semi-regular basis. So I'm exposed to needles almost constantly at this point now. And it's like starting to really help me understand that when a professional is doing the job correctly, uh there really isn't a whole lot to be afraid of. There really isn't a whole lot to worry about. And I think I am getting better at like being able to have it happen and know that I'm going to be fine. That at the end of the day, there really isn't anything to worry about. And I think the same could happen with you and balloons. We just need to like
Why did you say
slowly
it like that? Oh my god. I've been
we just need to
exposed to
slowly and gingerly
Listen, I've been exposed to balloons for 30 years now and well,
uh-huh.
really exposed to balloons for 25 now cuz they're at every party I
Mhm.
go to and I still have it. So I don't know what it is. I think it's just the idea of it ties into my fear of sudden loud noises. That's a thing too. I
I
hate
guess that's
I
fair.
hate fireworks too. I hate
Oh, same.
explosions. I hate gunshots. I hate anything like that.
Same.
Yeah,
Same. I agree. I can
that's why
understand that.
I hate the 4th of July. I stay inside. I can't go outside the 4th of July because it's all fireworks and
It's
it's
just loud.
awful.
I
It's
don't yeah.
awful. It's awful. It also gives you like it's not just loud, it also vibrates the ground, so like you
Yeah.
feel it too. It's like god, it's
Yeah.
horrifying. Fireworks are horrifying for me. They're beautiful when I'm
Oh,
watching them from a distance
absolutely.
behind a glass window, but
Yeah.
like when I'm outside watching it like 100 feet away, like I hate it. I can't sit on the beach. I can't sit still. I can't sit and watch it. I have to like stand up and walk around. Like even like you saw me like when I went to Disney World and we
Yeah.
did the finale of all the different parks. Like I had to cover my ears to enjoy the fireworks show, which
Oh yeah.
sucks.
Well,
I hate that I have to
same.
do that.
Fucking same.
I know. I hate that I have to do
Um
that.
I mean it definitely makes sense. I certainly wish that there were a way to make fireworks not as loud because, like, I wouldn't mind being able to enjoy some of those shows, especially at Disney. They have some pretty good stuff going on there whenever they have their own firework, what have yous. But like at the end of the day, it's very true. Like I don't need to go deaf for that, and it's really loud. Me myself, I'm not scared of fireworks or loud noises or big explosions or whatever. It's I just don't like it. I could go without it. It's not fun for me. I don't know. I don't know
I
what else to
agree.
say really about it.
I agree. I don't know. That's just me though. If you like fireworks and loud noises, maybe that's that's good for you. But I
Hey,
don't.
go for it. I'm not
I
going to
don't.
tell
I'm
you no.
horrified.
Exactly. I'm not going to yuck your yum.
Well, think we've said all we can. I think we've said all we can.
I think we have. How much? What's the time we got? Do we need to fill some space? Cause I
That's the hint, Max. That was the end.
Oh, that is the hint. It's the end, everyone. Welcome to the end of the episode.
Oh God, my fear of Max not understanding me. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Real and it's present. Okay.
It's real. It's present, and I'm here.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. Face your fears. I don't know what the fuck to say at the end.
Know that your fears are valid, even if it is a fear of balloons.
I hate this bitch so much. This podcast should be called "I Hate You, Dome." I don't know. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Best friends are allowed to make fun of each other for fears of the ocean. Anyway. Oh man.
Regardless, thank you everyone, one and all, for coming on by and being here for the whatever this episode of the Dialogue Dome is. I'm Max. That was Brennan, and like you should come on by and check out a lot of our other works. Maybe some of our other episodes where we talk about space or uh
For some
whatever.
reason,
We have so many things, huh?
for some reason, I thought you were gonna say like you should come by, man, like or something like Shaggy or something like that. Yeah, you should come by now, bro. You should come see the other episodes, dog, bruh. Oh,
yeah, no, bro, like fucking come on by and check this shit out. Like hit that fucking subscribe button, man. Like it's no big deal. You can like hit the bell icon and we can all just like have a like real great time, real groovy awesome time. Like
just do a Breaking Bad with Jesse. Yeah, you should come by now, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Got some lots of good stuff here, yo.
It.
Anyway.
Man. I love it. I love it all.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Patreon. What else am I missing? Subscribe to the Patreon.
Game walkthroughs.
Like and subscribe. What?
Game walkthroughs.
Oh yeah, our game walkthroughs. If you're interested, we are posting. Well, I have no idea when this is coming out. One of the recent games that we finished is Dragon Age, so you should check out that one. I thought it was pretty good. We got some pretty good bits out of it. Origins specifically.
Dragon Age
or
2,
you can watch any of our other things. Alone in the Dark. We did a Bloodborne walkthrough. Like, check out some of our Let's Plays and see what's up. See what's good. Maybe you like the channel. I don't know.
Best intro award goes to us.
Yep.
Always.
It's always perfect.
Oh, man.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you next time.